Ladies and gentlemen, don't fuck up your intro.
Crucial.
Ladies and gentlemen, I go by the name of Kaution, Mr. 700.
Hey, yo.
You're now watching another episode of AllOva Radio. Reporting live from Podcast Suites, Dallas, Texas. If you're looking to do a podcast, hit me up. You know the information.
Holla at me.
I'm in here with my brother.
What it is.
One more time for him.
There you go.
The only guy on the whole network with his own intro, as usual.
Sir. What up, dog?
And we're also in here with a very special, illustrious guest.
Facts.
Somebody with that, you know, introductions are important, right? So, you know, you want to make sure you talk about people the way that you would like people to talk for you. So while doing my information research on this person, I found out that he not only writes for Up Rocks,
Facts.
Dallas Observer, D Magazine, MTV, and a few more. I saw a few more articles on a few other places, man. So you all over the place. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the illustrious Mr. Alex Gonzalez in the building with us.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Let's go. How you doing today, man?
Good, I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, and we sincerely appreciate you coming out. You know, we like to consider this a safe haven for media, and those alike. You know, come here and be yourself. Talk about the things you want to talk
Say
about.
what you want to say, cuss.
You know, don't feel like you have to go about the normal interview type of thing.
Right.
Like we like a laid back atmosphere, you know. But we do like to talk about the things that affects the culture, man. So, definitely wanted to get into a little bit about you starting off. Like, let people know what you do, how long you've been doing it, those type of things.
All right, well, I've been a journalist for about
You can pull it a little bit closer.
All right, I've been a journalist for about 6 years now. I've been doing a lot in the freelance game right now, doing a lot of reporting on film, art, and television, music, all that good stuff.
Gotcha. Now, what inspired you, or what pushed you to be where you are? Like, how'd you get into it? Was it something you always wanted to do, even as a kid, type shit? Or like,
I was on like my high school like newspaper stuff, and then when I came to college, you know, I majored in psychology just because, you know, it felt like a very simple major. I was very good at connecting with others, talking with others, and I was always shit at math and science.
Same.
So I figured I might as well do something with writing, and you know, that's kind of how I landed here.
Gotcha. Now, was it more so like a specific type of writing, or were you just open to, you know, whatever opportunity presented itself at the time?
I think, you know, I was more inclined toward journalism writing because, you know, when I should have been like studying and like doing homework, I found myself listening to music and I'd be like, ooh, I like this beat, or I like the way this is composed.
So you broke it down a certain way to where, very detailed. That's one thing I did notice about a lot of the articles that I did read of yours. Very detailed as far as like what you see, how you feel, the perception of others, you know, those type of things are important because it captivates the reader in a certain way to where it's like, damn, I feel like I'm there when you're describing a certain place you're at, or things like that. So what do you enjoy most about what you do? Like what you know, keeps you going, keeps you motivated?
You know, I think it's very fun to like kind of learn about the artist's craft, you know, how they do their writing process, how they freestyle in the booth, or, you know, how they approach a beat whenever they're sent to the artist, and then just kind of get to know them and their process, have like a conversation with them. You know, a lot of people ask me, oh, what was it like meeting so-and-so, or what was it like meeting this person? And, you know, at the end of the day, a lot of these people are regular people.
Just humans.
Super talented at what they do. And that's kind of like getting into the human aspect is what motivates me the most what I do.
So who's some of your favorite interviews that you've done, or like just as far as artists, maybe, you know, those bucket list moments where you get to talk to or interview people that you like really want to meet and interview?
I think Issa Rae was really good. She's just so creative. She's so good at what she does. With the way she writes her projects and the way she makes music a main character of whatever aspect she makes. The city of main character, like LA is like a major part of Insecure. Miami is a huge part of rap shit.
Listen, I'm captivated by those shows. It's dope that you say that, because I just literally came from California and I took my wife to where she worked at when she was in Inglewood, apparently, at the, what was it called? We Got This, or what was the name of the place?
We Got Y'all.
We Got Y'all. I took her to the building where where it was located at, to show it to her, and it was super dope. So how is that though? Do you kind of fan out sometimes, or is it like you hold your composure in situations?
I do have to hold my composure in these types of situations. I mean, when I got to meet Eva Longoria for the Flamin' Hot press tour, like of course they were all like, oh, would you like a group photo with us? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. But, you know, in the inside I was like really excited about that. I'm like, yes, this is going to be one of those moments I always remember.
Has anybody lost it on yet?
Anybody what?
Has anybody lost it on you? Like you couldn't hold it in? Anybody?
No, not terribly. I think like when I first started getting these interviews, I was like, I'm so excited. I've learned to keep my composure, learned to realize, these are just regular people.
Right. And then you don't want to squander any opportunities as well by like just doing something that they kind of expect most people to do, which is why a lot of celebrities don't like to do a lot of press as it is unless it's necessary, because you just never know, I guess. But no, that's one of the things that I think about. And anytime I get to be around individuals whose, artistry I respect and like really, really revere, it's always dope. I always find myself smiling a lot though, like every single time. Like they show me a picture with somebody who I'm with, like even if it's like a rapper, like I'm not in the picture trying to be tough. I'm probably smiling because I'm happy as shit that you're here, type of deal. So that's dope though. What's some of the, well, you just named it, some of your favorite career moments. Have they all, did you just know instinctively that this is what you wanted to do? Has there ever been anything else that you've done that kind of maybe would have taken you away from this, or this has always been?
I think this has always kind of been the path that I wanted to be on, just kind of be like behind the scenes of like the film, television, music industry. And honestly, I don't know what I would do if I wasn't writing.
Right. So that, being that you're freelance, have you ever had that point of like uncertainty that may have caused you to second guess your decision? Like where you just like, damn, this ain't working how I wanted to. Has this always just been a smooth ride type of deal? I'm not gonna lie, it's really rough right now, especially like with the SAG-AFTRA strike going on, and a lot of like actors and filmmakers aren't doing interviews. So I'm focusing more on music right now. I mean, it's rough, but I always try to find a way to make it work. Do you do a lot of articles on like local artists and things like that?
I do for like Dallas Observer and D Magazine. I did one on XB Valentine, who just dropped an album.
XB. I did see that one. I did.
Yeah, she got like Bone Thugs and D-Smoke on the album, so that's like,
shout out to Smooth Vega. That's my guy, man. We've had him up to talk a couple times. But no, that's dope though. I think a lot, and that's another thing. I think a lot of times with artists, especially local artists, I always hear the thing, especially in Dallas, that there aren't any mediums for a lot of artists to get their craft out there, and it's always like, no, I think you all are just choosing the same ones. I think when you have individuals like yourself, even like Brian, even like shout out to Be Original in the building, shout out to Chronicle Productions in the building as well, helping out with the filming. But yeah, when you have individuals like you all, like Bryson and like yourself, who have access to be able to write these articles and do things like that, do you have a lot of local artists that reach out, or is everybody you talk to just your own choices? No, I mean, I do have a lot of artists that reach out to me, and I do give their music a stream. I watch their videos. I see like if they're being consistent in their posting, and I think a big thing is finding your footing as an artist. A lot of people want that level of fame, like to be like on Billboard or MTV, but they don't even know what kind of artist they are. They don't know their aesthetic. They don't know, their audience. And that's a very good point though, because you can have great music and be pushing it to the wrong demographic for the most part. You know what I mean? So you say, for instance, if you're a rapper, but you're not necessarily the kind of rapper that makes club music, but maybe the audience that you're pushing it to is looking for that, and you don't have it, and you're wondering why it's not hidden. Sometimes you have to get out and talk to the professionals, or do your research on what even somebody like yourself, like who can get that different audience from who you writing and who's reading what you're writing as well. So definitely tap in. I'm not gonna tell anybody to reach out to you though. That's not what I'm gonna do. So don't start sending them messages and shit. Like, I'm not saying that. Don't be asking for his email address. I mean, if you feel like you have found your footing, and if you feel that you've got a story worth telling, I'm always open to hear it. But what's the criteria though? What is it gonna take? What catches your eye? If it's a new artist or an up and coming artist, if they sending you something, is it just anybody that sends it you're gonna read, or it has to be packaged a certain way? I mean, if it has to kind of grab my attention. If I go to like your Instagram page, I like to see like how you're investing in like the visual aspects, whether it be like the album art. I realize that not all artists can afford that kind of stuff. That's true. But that's true. Your art is always worth the investment. Definitely. Even if you take like your album artwork or your single artwork on an iPhone or something, you can still make it look cool. That's the thing with today's technology though. There aren't really very many excuses, because there's a thing with this generation of people that consume music, especially the younger artists. They don't mind seeing your music video in a 60-second clip on TikTok or as a short or a reel. Like, it doesn't have to be overly produced. As long as it's there, if they feel the music and they can vibe with the video a little bit, they'll rock with it. Like, a lot of artists did the Thriller thing or Triller, whatever it's called, where they just doing music videos on there where they cutting them themselves and shit like that. So I think a lot of things with a lot of times with up and coming artists is they overthink the process, and it's like it becomes less about the music and more about everything else. Like you said, I want to reach this level where I see everybody else at, but I don't know how to get there. So I think that's a very valid point. Very, very valid point.
And I think time is like something that the time and investing in your craft is the best gifts you can give to yourself. Like those girls, Flyana Boss, the girls that do the running thing on TikTok. Hello, Christ, I'm about to sin again.
I like that shit though.
One of them is from Dallas. Like one of the girls is from Dallas. You know, they've been signed since like 2019, but it was like that little clip that happened this year.
Right.
And I knew nothing about them prior to that either. Exactly. Like I knew nothing about them prior to seeing those videos pop up. So that's dope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after a brief intermission. We got my guy Bryson Boom Paul in the building. Shout out to him for showing up. He's always on time. He is always on time. Okay.
Y'all in here?
Right.
Listen, I started to call this episode "Whose Family Is This?" from that from our last chat conversation. Whose family is this, fam? For real.
Right.
So now we back here. We got Alex Gonzalez in the building. My guy A.O. Clark in the building. This is our Kaution, Mr. 700, Be Original in the building as well. So back to the questions. I had a couple more. Nothing crazy.
I kind of got a crazy question.
Go ahead.
Not too crazy.
Go ahead.
It's actually for both of y'all being journalists. Is this like, and I don't mean like violent or anything, but isn't it like journalist beef? Like you see somebody's article or anything come out, he's like, man, fuck him. Or you see him walking by and it's like, man, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Is it anything like that? Like, or is it just all love in y'all community?
I don't know. I've got like my group of journalists that I hang out with. Boom, Taylor, like Eric.
Okay.
I don't have beef with anyone. I just kind of like.
And I don't mean like violence or anything like that, but it's just like you see his article drop. It's like fuck
like,
him. Like
you talking about like Anchorman, where it's like
yeah.
They didn't fuck with Channel 5.
It gotta get to that point where somebody stole they stole a story that you was already working on and told somebody about, and they took it and did something with it. Or
now you remember, I think we had Roderick Pullum on, and I don't know who my boy had a problem with, but it seemed like I'm gonna go back and revisit that episode.
I remember.
I'm gonna go watch that episode, and he had an issue with somebody. I don't remember that.
He was serious as hell.
It was another journalist, or
I think it was Central Track.
Yeah,
that's what it was. And this is not me breaking any news here. This is not even. He said this on camera. Okay, I'm not breaking any news here. But I remember
he said he had problems with Pete.
I think so. I believe so. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But
I just always thought about that. I was just like, cause I thought about the Anchorman shit. Like, I'm gonna fuck him up, or his article come out, I'm gonna delete that shit, rip that shit out the magazine, or so. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the only person you can have issues with artists or something like that.
Oh yeah, I figured that. Okay.
Journalists.
Okay.
Well, does that only come on the local artist side? Do you only really have problems with local artists, or do you have problems with the majors too?
Yeah, if you write something wrong about a major artist, they'll be all in your shit. If you reveal some information that if they tell you some stuff in confidence and you put that shit in the article,
they got you.
They got to come.
Yeah, off the record shit. Now there has to be an understanding that you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. Facts. Like if you jump out the window and post or print some shit that they didn't want you to say, you a foul person. I'm sorry.
Sure, yeah.
It's like a different kind of person. That's like me coming to you like, hey, don't tell Brian I think he a fuck nigga. You tell my boy said you right away type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wrote that verbatim in that month.
Nah. But back to it, like Alex, is there any advice you would give to somebody aspiring to be in this same field? Like if you knew a little kid right now and was like, Uncle Alex, I want you to tell me what I need to do. What would you tell them? Like,
can I add a part B to that too? What's the best advice you've gotten as well?
I think this is kind of like a combination of those. I mean, you just gotta be okay with having your W's spread out over time. I mean, you know, 1 week you can get published in a big magazine, and then the next month or so you're doing local stuff until the next big opportunity. But you know, you just got to keep moving. Don't lose your momentum. And just be comfortable having like your W's spaced out over time.
So don't look to stack them up.
You can get published in a big outlet. Like you can get like a huge megastar interview, and then turn around and you'll try and pitch for like 3 months and don't have no one to tell. No, we good.
Facts.
What's the wildest moment you've had as being a journalist?
Oh, the wildest moment I've had being a journalist. God, I'm trying to think. I think like one time I had like submitted like a kit of photos.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, here, pick one of these. And then like the editor like had captioned them wrong, like with the wrong names.
Oh shit.
And then I got eaten up for it on Twitter.
Wow. Damn.
And you know, I probably could have like been more careful on my end.
Right, right.
Back, I would have, because I said, okay, here's a Dropbox link with some pictures.
Okay.
You can use these.
Right, right,
because,
right.
You know, you have to be careful about the photos you use because if you use the wrong ones, you could get sued. But
that's crazy.
The PR sent me like a Dropbox link, and then the editor put in like the wrong caption, and I'm like, no, and then I got eaten up.
Gosh. And you can't go back and fix that. Like that's not like a.
I mean,
hey,
the
can
editor,
you reprint that? Like, is that possible? Or
I mean, the editor can go back in and fix it online. And luckily, this one wasn't print. This was like online only.
Oh, okay, wow. Oh, damn.
If that would have been print, it'd have been a wrap.
Wow,
yeah.
That's crazy.
They'd have been mad. They'd have been heated.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wow. So what's the next step after this? Like, what is your ultimate goal? Where do you want this to go? Like,
I mean, right now I'm just kind of like going with the flow, especially like with the journalism industry, the way it is right now. I mean, in the spare time, I'm working on a book, and you know, if I could have it my way, I'd like to get it adapted as like an HBO series.
Right. So pretty much, like, do you want to be like screenwriting and doing movies and writing stuff like that? Like, is that the like? I mean, like the end game, like 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Yeah, screenwriting would be good, or even just like using my documenting skills, and archival skills to produce like documentaries or something. Because a lot of journalists go on to like be documentary producers, like Dream Hampton. She has the Netflix series coming out. And she did the R. Kelly series as well.
Right.
She's someone that's really good at what she does.
That's dope. Do you have a list of your favorite journalists, like just of all time? Like,
I mean, I have a list of like people that I read, like who, like I know if they drop an article, it's gonna be a gem. I think Boom does really good. Taylor Crumpton, whenever she does like an article, like she does one like every once in a while, then she'll disappear like off social, and then she'll post one, and you know it's gonna be a gem. You know it's gonna be a gem. Desiree Gutierrez over in Dallas, she's really good at what she does. Stephanie Salas Vega, she does a lot of good stuff for the indie scene. I think Dallas has a good community of journalists.
Definitely.
That's what's up.
All right, last thing I wanted from you. Tell us about your writer's workshop.
My writer's workshop. So that was over
that shit was lit.
I need to know about that. I saw the posters and shit, then I seen it happen. Like, damn, that shit looked dope. Like, so tell us about that, man.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, I'm trying to experiment with different avenues like public speaking and TikTok. I've been doing my TikToks when I go on my walks, you know, to practice my breath control when I do my public speaking. A lot of people said the workshop went well. I don't know. I kind of felt like nervous being up stage, but it was like basically about analyzing a Latinx art exhibit at the Dallas Contemporary.
Gotcha.
But hopefully the next one will be smoother. They have one coming up in August as well.
Nice. Shout out to you.
If they asked me to come back, I must have done something right.
That's a fact. I didn't fuck it up too much.
That shit was. He had a whole room exhibit like with all kinds of different like representations of like Latin America and whatnot. And
so he ain't here. He's short selling it right now. Right. I'm not mad at it.
He just made it seem real simple. Yeah,
that's dope, man.
He had the raunchy content up there and everything. I was like, wow, okay, this is what we on. He had the drinks.
Yeah, man, that's a dope thing. I seen that and I was like, man, I want to ask him about that because I definitely was interested in knowing the concept of it and you know what was derivative of. So
yeah, it was a fun time, and you know, whenever I have like the announcement for the next one, I'll definitely
please do, man. If you need somebody to come in and get a little footage, you know, that's just the kind of shit I like to do. All right, so we went through the interview phase.
Oh wait, did we finish? I got a question.
Oh, go ahead.
Alex.
Go ahead.
I ain't get that. I ain't never.
Yeah, man, you just strolled in. Go ahead, man. Do your thing.
Late as usual.
I talk to him all the time.
No, go ahead.
All right, look. Tell him a story. Tell him a wild story that made into a great story when you published it. Like, say you got, for example, say you interviewed Selena Gomez or something like that, and that whole day you going through the interview process, or like some wild stuff happened, like she had you go out to fucking Joshua Tree or something like that or whatever, and it made into all that happened that day made into a great story when you got it published.
Crazy line of events.
I don't know, because like most of my stuff, it's done like over Zoom. I would like to do like one of those big Rolling Stone profiles where you just hang with the artist all day.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if I've had a moment like that yet, but you know, hopefully soon.
Right. So hopefully this is some crazy shit happened to give him a crazy story to write about. Is what he said.
Man, even the Zoom though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. One time I was like doing an interview with Angelo and Doc McKinney about like the 10th anniversary of House of Balloons by the Weekend, and Doc McKinney lit up a joint in the middle of the interview, and I thought that was pretty funny, but it added to the move. It added to the move.
Listen, I'm with that though. Shout out to him. I like to light up a joint in the middle of interviews too. You know what I'm saying? Depending on where I'm at. So
keep it real.
No issue. All right, so look, I got some questions for y'all. Y'all tell me this, and this is based on the situation, definitely on the Doja Cat situation. So I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with that.
Right.
But does an artist have any obligation of loyalty to their fan bases? So can an artist just be like, you know what, like her fans are basically asking her like, so you're not gonna say thank you for what you done to me? You don't love us? And she was like, nah, I don't even know y'all. Like, I don't really care about any of y'all. She lost like, I think they said she lost like 250,000 Instagram followers within a certain amount of time here recently. So how do y'all feel about that? Like, does an artist have an obligation to be like, oh, I love my fans and give them a name? Like, she shitted on the name of her fans. She was like, I don't know why. If you call yourself Kittens, delete your whole profile and shit. So she kind of went in more than I've ever seen an artist going on their fan base. How do y'all feel about that? Anybody could go.
I mean, obviously she's not obligated to love her fans, but her fans are the reason she is where she is. Like she's done a whole lot of other problematic shit, like with the chat room stuff, and so and they forgave her through that. So I mean, I don't know. She probably said how a lot of artists feel about their fans.
I think so. I think that's what she did. She kind of gave you a glimpse into how a lot of them really feel, but a lot of them were able to put on that like. That I love you all so much. My fans are the reason for everything, and I appreciate you so much.
Right?
How you feel about that, Bryson?
Nah, that's the gift and the curse. You was, remember when you wasn't nobody and you was wishing you had fans,
no, that's
and then all of a sudden you was begging people to listen to your stuff and be as worship you as an artist, and then you get all that. You get all the accolades. You the biggest female rapper, quote unquote, right now, and. You doing all that to tell your fans that they can kiss your ass.
Shit on them, bro.
Like, anytime it has to do with fans, I feel like as an artist, you are obligated because that's pretty much who buying your product. That's who made you, who makes you into Doja Cat or who makes you into Kaution, who makes you into who you are as an artist.
It's your fans.
That's your fan base.
How much and how you do it, I think. Like you don't have to, because you think just take like Andre 3000. You see him every now and then, and he'll play the flute for some of his fans and shit.
Just still
entertain them, that type of stuff. Like
take a picture with all of them.
Exactly, but you don't see him that much, and like somebody's like. Doja Cat, you see her in front of everybody all the time. Like you can't take your eyes off her, but
that's the price of fame,
right?
That's
exactly.
And I think
when you become a public figure, ain't no
you don't get to hide
privacy, ain't no hey.
And in pop culture, I feel like the more popular you are, like that's the point of it.
That's
I thought,
the word.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, exactly.
Unless you're like Eminem and you're like anti-pop culture, which like 20 years ago you could be that way and just hold your middle finger up all the time, and everybody just hates you, but they listen to you anyway.
Why she do that? While she about to go on tour.
That's what I'm
She's
asking.
about to drop an album.
That's what I'm saying.
Go on tour.
Why are you losing fans?
I took it. Well, I watch wrestling. I kind of felt like she started to turn heel now. Like she wanted to flip it and shit. Like now I'm the bad guy. Like
why would you then put out some rap album?
I don't know. But think about it like though. Like that wouldn't be intrigued. Like why is she doing all this? Like that is going to lure you in more.
You still need a follower or two as a heel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. But still, like
as soon as they said 200-some-thousand dropped, I'd be like, hey man, I was on a lot of stress. I'm going to get some mental help right now.
I took some pills.
But them two, you still gonna listen to that album though to see what she going through.
But at the end of the day, it's the fans that make the TikToks to their song. It's the fans that stream her music. It's the fans that made that Moo shit famous. So
the facts, because
she wouldn't be where she is without them.
Not even that. She telling like her fan base is like little kids, little kids like that. Not her own. That's not her sole fan base, but her fan base.
A lot of them. Yeah, my daughters sing the songs when they come on the radio. No cap,
bro. Literally. like that whole 106.1, like her whole album is on there.
Even the new shit they play.
Yeah, the new shit, but our whole complete album is on there.
You didn't tell them kids to kiss you. I don't know why y'all came up with kids. Y'all
what's the meme? Fuck them kids.
Yeah, right. If I was the label,
fuck them kids.
If I was the label, I would have cut her shit so bad.
Yeah, somebody take her phone. Take her phone.
Yeah.
For real. No, but I thought that was. I think I was reading it, and I don't know if I've ever seen an artist do that to their fan base before. I don't think I've ever just seen them just say, "I don't care about y'all. Y'all don't mean shit to me.
Yeah,
I don't love y'all."
That's why I say it only happens in wrestling. Like, fuck all y'all. Like,
it's a couple artists that have done that. Yeah. Not really got on fucking live and said, "Hey, fuck y'all," and nothing like that. But it's artists that have done that, and not gave a fuck about their fans.
That's crazy.
I mean, I've heard that like Demi Lovato, like whenever she does meet and greet, she's just very like, "Here, take a picture with me," and then like,
for real,
it's like on next.
Yo.
Yeah, you treat them like cattle. You be like, all right, come on, man.
Yeah, let's just get them in and out. That's crazy, man. But people still line up to come see your goofy ass.
Actually, no, I know plenty of artists that don't give a damn about they fan base. They just they like, hey, I made it. I don't give a shit what I'm getting paid.
Right.
I don't give a shit what.
That's
like
wild.
I've seen them like fans be standing out there for hours.
No, that's true though. I have seen
and
that.
And them motherfuckers would be like, so
right.
that's on them.
Let's
like,
get to the last.
All right.
You know what's crazy, when we was at the currency meet and greet, that was like the biggest difference with his as opposed to everybody else's I'd ever been to. Mm-hmm. This man literally stayed there and shook every hand, signed everything, and didn't leave until he was done. Like, and I never seen that before.
And he was actually having like conversations with every guest, or I mean every fan that came up. It was like a little, as much as he could talk to him, he would talk to him for that whole time they was there. Like,
you know, it was wild.
Some real shit.
It was wild. He did it in Deep Ellum, and then when I went to perform for Art Basel in Miami, I literally stayed after his show to see if he would do the same thing. This man hopped off the stage. He was like, all right, I'm done rapping. He put the mic down and hopped off the stage, and this group of fucking people and just started signing shit. Yeah. I was like, that's wild. Like, so this is a part of his spiel. Now, mind you, though, the whole show in Miami, they throwing weed on the stage. So I was like, God damn it, this lucky motherfucker.
That's another thing. Like, a lot of artists are like having shit thrown at them on stage.
Yeah.
You know what? They said The Weeknd act the same way. He don't care about his fans.
This shows us
that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, it shows us that what was it? An HBO special he just had on the other show? I seen that. I was talking about his actual show. It was like Euphoria, like on like crack. It's like they tried the same concept.
They tried to make a series. It was only 5 episodes. I'm like,
they just stopped it.
Yeah,
they just stopped it.
They not bringing that shit. But I missed the old Weeknd where he would perform. And he wouldn't, you couldn't see him. It would literally be a dark room and just one light just on him. And he would perform and then, you know, get off stage. And you didn't know what he looked like, nothing. For the longest time, nobody knew what The Weeknd looked like, but they loved all his music.
That
like House of Balloons came out, that shit was the biggest thing out, and nobody knew what The Weeknd looked like.
Right.
And then he did shows, and he would have like a silhouette light on him.
I forgot about that.
And he would perform, and that was it. He would get off stage and walk off. But that be like, if you're gonna do some, like how Doja Cat is saying, if you're gonna do some stuff like I don't care about my fans, then do it that way. Just be like, hey, I'd rather have it where the world don't know what I look like.
Or it's more of a mystery. It's a mystery. You don't know if I fuck with you or not. You just
MF Doom.
Sia used to be like an indie singer, and then like whenever she started blowing up, she like covered her face, that way she could go shopping and not be stopped by fans.
Fucking Daft Punk shit, they always got the shit on all the time.
They take their helmet off, don't nobody know who they
the fuck. Right. Hey, walk in this room right now, I wouldn't know who neither one of them niggas is.
Get your ass.
All right, so look, tell me this. Has an artist that you personally love or is like a favorite of yours, like ever done something to make you like no longer fuck with him? Like somebody that you really fucked with, like done
Kanye.
Wale. Wale.
Nah, I don't say wouldn't make me fuck with him. He cries
a lot though.
Look, I remember I was the hugest Wale fan at this time. Like, I'm sitting there seeing him walk around the fucking Beverly Center, right, during BET weekend. And I was like, oh shit, that's Wale.
Right.
I'm fucking amped. So I run across the fucking food court to get to this nigga, and he by himself. This nigga ain't with nobody, he by himself. So this is Wale when he was like, he did the song with Lady Gaga and everything, but I don't know how this nigga could just walk around and nobody know who he was.
Nobody cared.
Nobody cared. This nigga did not care. But look, so at this time, I'm like the hugest Wale fan. So I'm like everything. I damn near was gonna run up to him and start reciting songs and shit. But I walk up to him and I see he talking to somebody, so I'm trying to wait and be polite. And I'm like, he stopped talking to the dude. I'm like, hey, Wale, you know, I'm a huge fan. Can I get this picture? And he's like, this nigga didn't even look at me. He like, yeah, nigga, hurry up. So this is like one of my first time really seeing people, like seeing famous people. Right. Like obviously I've interviewed artists and shit like that at that time, but this is my first time seeing somebody like just walking out, blase, like. And he at the same time he your favorite artist. So I'm thinking like, oh, this finna be great. This nigga didn't even look at me. He was like, hurry up, take a picture. All right. And so I'm sitting there by myself. So who gonna take the picture?
Wow.
And so the dude that he was talking to, I was like, hey man, this sounds like a horrible experience. This nigga didn't want to wait. Wale's sitting there like, all right, nigga, hurry up. I'm like, and I look at the dude and I'm like, hey man, can you take this picture of us with my phone? And I'm gonna tell you how old this shit was. Like, nigga, this was like the iPhone 1.
It didn't even have like a front.
It didn't have a front, but. So this nigga, this nigga didn't want to take the picture. I'm like, hey, man, can you take this picture, man? Tell me why this nigga went and he was like, all right, bet. So I get next to Wale to get ready to take the picture. This nigga lift the shit up, go click, and he give me the phone. And he like, I can't say nothing like, hey, nigga, what the fuck? This nigga Wale didn't even give a fuck. And took off.
Wow.
I get my phone back and go back to my homeboys like, hey man, that was Wale. I'm amped. I'm geeked. I didn't even look at the picture. I'm geeked. I'm like, yo, I look at the picture, man. It wasn't even a picture. I still posted that shit somewhere. I still got it. I'm gonna find that shit.
Me and Wale. Wale and I.
Somewhere in this blurry picture is me and Wale chilling.
No, look, the picture came out clear, but this nigga Wale is mean mugging like a motherfucker. Come to find out, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Come to find out, it's not even a picture. It's a video. This nigga took a video and he just said click. So the video is 2 seconds.
It's 2 seconds worth of footage.
Setting up to take a picture and the nigga get his shit back.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, that would have been my last time listening to Wale. You gotta be fucked up.
I listened to his music, but every time I listened to his music, I went back to that. This motherfucker.
Why'd you say Kanye? Just because of recently, or was it like prior to?
It was like back in like 2017, 2018 when he started supporting Trump, and then he like started collaborating with 6ix9ine and
same time as me. Then that was around my same time I disconnected with him. Yeah, you're right. I was just wondering, was it like the recent shit?
All right, cool. So
it's been manifesting for years.
It just kind of bubbled up.
And it's sad because like whenever I started collecting vinyl like records in college Dropout was the first one I bought at a record store in Denton, and I skipped class to tune into the stream of Life of Pablo. So I was a long time fan, and then like afterwards, like that's just like kind of when I started disconnecting with the Trump support.
Mark, you got one?
What was the question again?
And is something an artist has done that you love that made you not fuck with him no more? And it don't have to be something they did to you personally, just like something that happened along the lines of their career, maybe. Because mine, I would probably say, mine would be one, I would have Ja Rule on there. Like, I didn't like the way he handled the 50 Cent situation.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. I felt like he could have did more. And I felt like he was too big to fuck with 50 Cent. Like, he didn't really want to pay him no attention. They was just going to kind of let him, like, throw his stones and disappear, but he didn't disappear. And he just kind of grew.
If he didn't respond, it would have been, we wouldn't have probably got the 50 Cent that we got today. If he never responded,
if he didn't say anything,
if he was just like, man, that nigga I'm already at the top of the top.
So I don't have to say nothing.
Hits after hits after hits.
But then I felt like he tried that though, and it didn't work.
Nah, he did.
Because remember the only song he had in retaliation to 50 Cent was what? Clap Back, and that was like 2 years after Get Rich or Die Trying.
I think he only got mad because he was like, the streets is the ones talking.
He lost the streets.
The streets is like, yo, this nigga over here roasting shit.
All right, what's yours?
Robert Kelly.
Oh yes. Yeah. That's definitely
Robert Kelly, man, with that whole situation, I don't even want to go into it.
Yeah, we know what happened.
Yeah.
We know what happened. I'd say Robert that's another one. So 2 Chicagoans, that would be my 1 and 1A right there. He would probably be, it would be like him, then Kanye, then like Ja Rule, then like Lil Wayne.
No, first of all, Robert Kelly is.
He's at the top of my list. Yeah.
Head and shoulders above everybody else.
That nigga, he got his own place.
Yeah, he got his own. He on his own plateau right now.
Listen, when I let it go, you know, when I finally said no more R. Kelly, I sang "I Wish" one more time with a tear in my eye, and that was the last time I visited his catalog.
Yeah.
Like, I can't listen to him, bro. I can't.
But even with even with the Doja Cat situation and R. Kelly and Kanye and stuff like that, do you consider separating the music from the artist? Because that's an argument that everybody has.
I can if with anybody but R. Kelly. Anybody but R. Kelly. I can't.
I was gonna say that. It's hard.
Well, because the thing is, you know, like if you watch the documentary, The Surviving R. Kelly, like they talk about like the backstory, how some of the songs and like you know, "You Are Not Alone" by Michael Jackson. That's one R. Kelly wrote about like a girl who had a miscarriage, and "Feeling on Your Booty" was like written like where there were 15-year-olds in the studios.
Right.
Like you can't.
And then even there was, and I think mine's, I'm one of those people where like I come from the era of like newspapers, right? Like, so I used to read a lot of newspaper, even as a kid. Like, if you ask the people I grew up with in Compton, they'll tell you I was one of the few people that they would see, like in my early teens, that would have a newspaper. And there was a guy in Chicago who followed R. Kelly's career forever, and he wrote everything.
Jim Duragatis.
Yes, and so everything that he wrote, everything that he wrote that I read about R. Kelly, from all the cases that he settled out of court to the stuff that didn't even make the documentary, there were so many instances of stuff that this man was doing, from like reports of him hanging out outside of like junior high schools or going to a specific McDonald's in Chicago waiting for the kids to get there to sign autographs and shit like that. Like, he had a long history, including Aaliyah, you know what I mean, of things that he had done. And so by the time we get to the documentary, I feel like I knew about a bunch of shit already. It just was different people. So it wasn't just with those specific ones. He had done the same thing over and over again for years. So I can't listen to him, bro. I can't.
Yeah, I can't.
And I was
It's
the
hard.
biggest. I was one of the biggest R. Kelly fans.
Everybody was the biggest. Like,
You had to be.
Kelly,
And I don't even really listen to R&B.
can't deny
Right.
the music. You can't deny the music at the end of the day. Like,
Listen, but you know that those two, I think you all captured it for me. I'd say Kanye, R. Kelly, in no specific order. Kanye, and then his music just became less good to me after a while. So that was the other thing too. It regressed for me after
he
Pablo.
talked about that. He said like a lot of people didn't like his later music, but he like, I'm a creator. If you don't like it, like you like this other stuff, you like this, like, but I still got to experiment.
That's true, and I'm not mad at that, because there are certain instances, there's certain like times where I hear shit and it takes me back to a certain feeling of the old Kanye. So, you know, there's certain vibes I still catch, but then sometimes he just loses me, and then it's just like, all right, bro, like you went from making gospel music to then it's City on Fire with you and Future, and now you back to doing shit, crazy shit. You sleeping in the damn Atlanta Hawks locker room, and like he's just a wild guy, and it's hard to get a grasp on him.
Yeah, but my thing on that is like, you know, like when Ye first came out, I couldn't listen to it without knowing that he's a big Trump supporter.
Yeah. That's true.
All that shit kind of plays a part to it.
It does, though. It does.
And you know, like Kanye and R. Kelly, they're both ubiquitous in the music scene, like outside of their own music. I mean, You Don't Know My Name, that's a Kanye track.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Outrageous by Britney Spears is written by R. Kelly, and you know, Fortunate by Maxwell, that's written by R. Kelly. So even if you like remove all their shit from Spotify, you still hear their stuff on the radio.
I will say though, they did make a conscious effort to not play any R. Kelly music on the radio, because I don't even hear them on like the R&B, the oldest and R&B stations no more. Like if they'll play Charlie Wilson 10 times before they play one R. Kelly song. I swear to you, like I promise you, bro. So tell me this, and this is just a general question. We don't got to spend a lot of time on it. What era of music was y'all's favorite, and what would you consider to be the best? And that's all genres included. So it doesn't have to be 80s rap or 90s rock. It could be what era, like what time period do you feel that the best music was coming out, in your opinion?
For me, I'm going to say probably 97, probably 96 to probably about 2003.
Okay. And I know
that's a good time frame. I
think that falls into, like I was telling people the other day, like what my generation of rap is. It's not necessarily like I know about like Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah,
you know, we listened to that shit, but that's not really our generation of rap.
Right.
But we were listening to it.
We was young bucks doing that shit.
But that 2000 and probably between 2000 and I give you 2010 was like all our era of music.
I'll let you stretch out. Yeah, probably that far.
For me, I'd say that between the two, like late 90s
something
to like
about
2000.
like, even like, cause me, I'm a Limp Bizkit fan, so I take it back then that far. Shit like that, fucking Smashing Pumpkins. You can take Nirvana, even all that.
Yeah,
like that whole little time frame of music was just ill.
Yeah,
early Hove, Master P, like the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah, because it was the origination of a lot of shit. So if you think about like
UGK,
the initial start of a lot of things started then, and then it branched to what it is. What you think, Bryson?
I gotta say 70s R&B. Especially the names that they had.
That's true, though.
Think about it. They had the Delphonics.
The Dramatics.
The Pretenders. The Whispers.
Yeah,
that's true. The Spinners.
The Spinners. The something.
They had, man, that was like, just the time. Well, no, I don't know if Gap Band came. They came in the 80s, right?
That was like 70s, 80s. You talking the Temptation era? You know, you talking the Temptations, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, and like all those type of groups.
Said Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
That's my grandmother's era right there. You know what I'm saying?
70s R&B, and then like that was the time where it was at its prime, and they didn't really use producers. They used like, we got a band.
Yeah, so everything was a band.
You start playing on the drums right now. You on the guitar. You
just building
on the bass. All right, like give me something right now that it comes to the feeling of what this person is playing, and a nigga on the congos and
that is different though.
So 70s, and that bled into the 80s and gave us
the Marvin Gaye's,
the
and
New
all
Editions, the Jackson 5s.
Yeah, because I would say Marvin Gaye was 70s, 80s, was like early 80s, late 70s.
Or no, the Jackson 5 was in the 70s too.
Yeah, Jackson, you gotta think Jackson 5
was in the 70s.
They was around, and that was like the early versions of them. Because you know, it was like
Johnny Mathis, Curtis Mayfield,
like teenage Michael, and then like right before he branched off and did his own thing.
Black Michael.
What about yourself, Alex? What you think?
I'd probably say late 90s, early 2000s, just because it was such a good time for like all genres of music. I mean, we had like Biggie, Tupac, and rap. We had Destiny's Child, TLC.
Oh, I didn't even think about the
R&B. Britney Spears and NSYNC and Backstreet Boys and pop and rock. We had Limp Bizkit.
That was like I like that
Woodstock,
the reinvention of the Woodstock. I was gonna say that was the MTV era for me. I like that.
The MTV era for me.
Spring Break,
like if you missed that,
even the rock and jock shit, like come on, now that was great.
Like I've been recording for some reason. They've been showing a lot of the behind the musics again.
Oh, for real?
So I've been recording.
They do that on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Oh, word.
So I've been recording. I caught I think the TLC one was on, and then I caught the DMX one. So I got those two recorded, and I'm just recording them whenever they come on because it's been so long since I seen them type shit. But that era, if you missed it, for all you fucking kids out there that call us old, you missed that. Okay, you'll never fucking get that again. Okay,
when MTV really stood for television,
that was even like early 106 in Park.
The only reality TV was what the Road Rules
and Real World, because Road Rules was after Real World, wasn't it? Or was it all the same time?
No, it was around the same time.
Kind of around the same time.
Real World came out first, and then Road Rules,
and then what, Singled Out and shit like that.
Listen, man, that shaped our childhood.
I was watching that shit. That's why I learned about that. Remember when it started going off? That's when the Spinners, the Delphonics. Ask your mom about these CDs.
For real.
I remember MTV had a show that came on late at night called Undress.
Yep.
I remember that shit.
That was like the first soft porn.
I remember. BET had one called Uncut.
That was it.
Uncut was lit.
That was after the club. You get home and
bro. Listen, that
was a different type of.
I didn't even understand Uncut when I first seen it the first time because it wasn't like they couldn't announce it was coming. It just kind of happened. It just dropped. And so if you were up late one night,
as soon as it went to 1 o'clock, that bitch would come on. Wasn't no VJ.
But there was never any previews for it. It wasn't like, hey, we got this new show coming out.
No,
that shit just happened, bro. And then it was there for years.
But then you go look on the guy that bitch say uncut, 1 o'clock. Man, turn to it, his ass shaking, jiggling, all that shit.
Matter of
Loving.
fact, you watching that
A
shit.
nigga rapping in a wheelchair.
Facts. They really cussing on that.
Yeah.
Listen, my mother didn't know what BET Uncut was. She never ever saw me watching it.
My
like
son
that
in
shit
here
was like
late
a
at night
mystery.
watching music
You
videos.
had to have your finger on the return
On the return.
Right on Looney Tunes and shit. Yep.
All right, listen, man.
TRL definitely showed you if you had fans. Remember they
That's
would
a
have
fact.
guests come and they'd go outside and look at that window.
Bro, and it'd be everybody in
was out
Times
there,
Square.
right.
But you know what's dope? The first time I went to New York, that's the first thing I went to see, like where that shit was and like how it would look from like that other perspective, because I had never seen it in person. So that was
I
like a
went to
big
the
deal.
mirror. You could see out the window the Foot Locker over there. I actually went to that Foot Locker.
Yeah, listen,
I
stayed
bought a
at
pair of shoes.
We literally stayed at the Crown Plaza in the middle of Times Square, bro, across from the
that's
M&M building
ill.
and all that
Right,
shit,
word,
like where the
yeah.
Hard Rock Cafe and all that shit is down there. So, but it's crazy because at night, if you come outside, it looks like it's daytime because it's still lit up. New York is the craziest fucking place to ever be. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Love it.
No, but I thought that was dope. I was going, on my nostalgia shit last night. I was up late watching shit and was like, damn, I think that'd be a dope topic. Now, to the current event, which we don't normally do this, but Bryce had a very good question, and then we'll leave y'all alone and we're done. All right, what would you do if your significant other faked a kidnapping and got caught? Like, let's make sure we bring in the got caught and then apologize to the public with an attorney, because she did not only apologize, she used her attorney to apologize. Man. So what would you do, bro?
Am I finding out like everybody else?
Like every fucking body else.
No, you not.
So you think he knew?
The boyfriend found out first. Remember, he took all of her pictures off. He took
he did.
first.
So he knew. I wonder how he found out. Like she
told him. She was like, "Hey, look, this shit about to happen."
What would you do, bro?
I don't even have a damn clue. Like,
What would you do?
I'm baffled at the whole idea. Even when I read the story about
are you leaving?
Done. Like, but I can't trust you.
Oh, no,
you just
bro.
up and disappear. Like,
There's a lot of factors.
You
that's
don't even
gonna
trust
contribute to me
yourself. How
leaving.
am I supposed to trust you?
I feel like I'm up one if I stay though.
Yeah.
Like I would be up one forever. If you know the dynamics of relationships, I'm up one if I stay though, right? Like I feel
That's
like
awkward to pull out. Hey, you remember that shit you did a couple months ago?
Hey, no, shit, you tripping, bro. Like you need to calm down because you was just out here. Are you going to the store too long?
Yeah.
And you just like, hey, I'm calling you like you coming back or like.
Did somebody get you? You taken?
Yeah.
No, why did she reference taken? Why did she reference that she looked up taken?
Exactly.
You know that was about a child getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
But that's where the child part of the story probably came in because she was like, let me pretend there was a child on the side of the road.
There was like a baby on the side of the road.
She thought it through. No, I'm getting up out of it. Now, if you go that far, I'm gonna have to let you be. Like,
just say you wanted some time out or something.
There's no limit on what you'll do. There's no limit on what you'll do.
Yeah, I can't trust you.
You got police looking for you. Like you made up a fake baby.
Yeah, you kidnapped yourself.
A fake scream on the phone with your friend.
The world is looking for you. The world.
I wonder where she was. Did they never say where she was?
Her mama house.
She probably never even left the city.
That's what I'm saying. She had her mama house. She
went
up the street.
in the woods and never came out.
She got an Airbnb.
No, in my opinion, we got to break up. I gotta let you hang on that.
What's next? What do we do next?
We can't come.
You know what you could do next.
No.
Listen, there's certain things. Listen.
Find yourself.
What if you just stay friends? What if like she's like the greatest of all time?
No.
Still, you might drag me into some more shit. It might be a second kidnapping.
But she never, listen, I told Bryson this when we talked the other day. She never said she was missing. Like
she never said she was.
She didn't when you think about it. All she did was scream on the phone and then not answer her phone no more.
They found her at the hospital.
And they found her car. She took all the products she had just bought with her from Target. They say she went to Target to buy snacks, but none of the snacks was in the car. So she prepared for the trip.
Yo.
And the fact that you was that
it is 2023 and we got this shit happening, boy.
I can't believe it though. It's such a wild story. All right, I'm done with that. I'm done.
Alex, what would you do?
What would you do?
I don't know. I feel like I would have too much pride to stay because, like, I don't know if I ever went out in public and people were like, "Hey, you're the one whose girlfriend faked the kidnapping." But at the same time, I don't know. I'm trying to understand why she did what she did. I mean, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors with these people. The guy could have been abusive and she was trying to look for a way out. I mean, I don't know. I don't know these people.
I just want to know where she went.
Do you know how many jokes are gonna come with that? So you got the unique set of skills, the same one as my man in the movie. Like,
who found you? Who found you?
Yeah. Was you taken or?
Moral of the story is don't play with people and their emotions out here because social media. Like, stop playing with people because these days it's not hard to find you. This is not 1980. There are cell phones and things to locate you, and you can only hide for so long.
She did not think this through. She didn't think this was gonna get get nationwide attention. She
Keep that head on the swivel because niggas is kidnapping themselves.
Right. All right, bro. Music picks of the week. What you got, Clark?
I'm gonna keep it real. I've been listening to that Nas, that Magic, and I even took it old school because I was on my old rock shit. I was listening to the old System of a Down, that Toxicity. I took it back to that shit. But that new Nas is ill. I don't think it's not in the top 5 of the last couple ones he brought out so far.
Like 10 albums.
That's what I'm saying. But it was good though. It was good though.
Killing it. What you got, Bryson? I know you got something.
I didn't even get a chance to listen to Nas yet, but
you haven't heard it yet? I haven't listened to it all the way through. I've heard most of it.
So what I've been doing lately is I'll just go to artist catalogs or go to artist page, make a whole playlist on them, just them alone, and I'll just hit shuffle and listen to all their music.
Gotcha.
But from recently, just the past few days, I've been listening to D Smoke and Sir.
Oh, okay. What about yourself?
I like that new J-Rock song with Anderson .Paak and Love.
I don't fucking keep missing that. I saw the video and didn't click on it.
No, it's so good. And you know, in the streaming era, you know, having a song that's like more than 3 minutes long and has like 3 verses and a chorus, and you know, it's something that's been missing for a long time. And I think that's why I really resonated with that song, and the visual is banging.
Gotcha.
Another one I was on accident. I was listening to YNW Melody.
Well, I think that's natural for you to do that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, you kind of had to do that, bro. I think there's no way around it in your predicament. I don't know. I think recently I've been in the mode. I've been listening to a lot of R&B. What I did was I started going through the up and coming artists, like new R&B artists that I don't know anything about. So like on Spotify, there's a let me see, what's the name of the fucking list? It's like up and coming R&B or some shit like that. So I just been listening to artists that I don't know anything about. Like that's been my vibe here recently. So let me see. Let me give you an example. Good Company, Jane Hancock, Lucky Day. I'm big on Lucky Day, so I've been listening to a lot of that. I did tap into the Music Soul Child and Hit Boy shit because I know Rakim brought it up, so I seen it pop up, so I listened to that. Kevin Ross, Destin Conrad, so just a lot of people I didn't know, but like a lot of dope music. So if you get a chance, man, I know a lot of people said that R&B is dead and there's nothing new out there, but there is a lot of people doing a lot of things. What I will say about R&B, the current ones that people do know and love, is that a lot of that shit sounds the same. Wow. And so like you'll get somebody like SZA and fucking what's her name? Summer Walker, and then you'll also get, what's the other one that sounds just like them? It's one other person, but you get that same kind of sound and vibe. Different artists. I'm not saying that they sound exactly alike, but the vibes are a lot of the same. I'm a big Aaron Ray fan, so I've been listening to a lot of that. So just keep your ear open. The Last Blast album I've been listening to a lot lately. The Last Black album has been in the playlist, so you know R&B has been my vibe the past couple days, but that's only because not a lot of rap I've been tapping into. So
hey, if you had, so like, you know how we was talking about 70s R&B, right? If you could make a group name using your name, like it's Kaution and whatever, the Delphonics, like we saying, what would it be if y'all could have a If y'all could have a group name.
You thought season name for it. Hold that question real quick, and then we'll close it out.
See, that help. That make y'all think of that shit.
Now you said if you had a group name?
Like, yeah, what would your group name be? It'd be like Alex and the, you know, and the Overheats or something like that. The Overeats. Uber Eats.
Damn, that's a good question.
That's a good one.
Like a 70s group name.
Like Clark and the Bandits.
I don't know. Is it recording right now? Or
not yet. No.
All right, cool.
I'll let him turn it back on. I'm gonna give myself that time to think about it. Okay, I got one. I'm ready.
I got one.
Yeah, I got one. Yeah, that's a good question. We can close it out with that one. You got shoes?
Oh, I do. This is one little something. This is the big red boots. They got a yellow boot coming out.
I just seen the Croc version. I seen Dark in the biggest. Oh my god.
That's it.
I think they like 2 G's. You pay like $2,000 for the biggest fucking pair of Crocs you ever had in your life. I got you. You know, if you with it, you like it, I love it.
I ain't seen nobody rocking them motherfuckers in Dallas though.
Nah,
you ain't seen that one.
I seen the fake joints in the Parks Mall. I slid through that the other day.
So you played with yourself on that.
The fake ones?
Yeah. Even my daughter was like, "Oh, them ain't real, daddy." I said,
I know, right? So look, being that we was talking about R&B, 70s R&B groups and stuff like that. If you could come up with your own R&B group name, but with it'd be saying like Kaution and the Delphonics, or Clark and the Whispers, or Alex, and what would your group name be?
I'll let Alex go first. The guest go first.
All right. Just because I'm a writer and I kind of want to stick to the theme, it would probably be Alex and the Lexicon.
Okay. I like that. Clark, you got one?
Clark and the Left Foots.
Mine would probably be Kaution and the Fair Warnings. Bryce?
Mine's got to be Bryson and the damn, what's that shit called? Bryson and the Raws.
And the Raws?
And the Raws. You remember how I'm going there raw. Bryson and the Raws.
They say, what's raw plural? Raws. I thought you meant like Lou Raws. I was going to say that would
You on that 70s shit for real right now.
Yeah, the 70s names didn't have no correction.
They
What
didn't.
the fuck is y'all name?
No, they really didn't. Hell no.
What the fuck is the Whispers?
Facts. All right, man. Clark, you got the what's on the shoes for today, bro?
I got two. Cloud is doing out of all their combination of Nikes that they came out with, even from Jordans to Air Force Ones, they are doing a dunk that they're coming out with the Cloud. So that's one of the shoes is ill to me. Me and Suave and OB had this conversation earlier through text, but one of the shoes is actually pretty ill. The other one is kind of wild. To me, it's just that see-through tongue that comes on it. Like it's kind of a light see-through, but that I just guess it's kind of.
Is it a package or you buy them separately?
It's the same. No, it's like a left and a right.
Oh,
if you know the whole they look differently, but that's kind of that's the whole concept of that. I'm a fan of the what the period anyway, from a Kobe to Air Force One to whoever you want to call it, but that and they are doing the second generation, and I can't even think of the word. The second generation of the big red boot is the big yellow boot. It's and the Croc collab. It's a big yellow boot. It's with the holes in it like a Croc.
It's a Croc at the bottom.
Yeah, definitely wild.
I don't understand the fascination with that, but that's another. Yeah,
I don't understand it either.
Why do you want these big ass shoes on?
And I don't know. And they apparently look like they're hard to get off. People are having fucking struggles trying to rip them joints off. Like.
Yeah,
I'm good.
That's when hype just overrides like common sense.
Yep, and they sell them for an arm and a leg for you to wear a couple times.
$2,000 for them yellow ones. Because I seen a picture of Lil Durk in them, and they was like Lil Durk with the new XYZ $2,000 boot.
Right.
Fuck out of here! I ain't paying $2,000 for that. Yep. But I mean, there are people that will, so you'll see a lot of people with them on, man. Yep. So. Definitely want to give a shout out to my guy Alex Gonzalez for coming out and talking to us. Appreciate you, my guy.
Thank y'all for having me.
Yes, sir.
Let people know where they can find you when you're not being super famous and writing for different publications and shit. Like we talked about MTV. He's like, yeah, I write for them too. You know that. Right?
All right, well, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at Alex G Writer WRITER.
Gotcha. Mr. Boom Paul, let them know where they can find you, sir.
Hey, Bryson Boom Paul on all platforms. That's where you can find me at. So, or you can just type in my name on TikTok, Google.
Famous niggas. There you go. Famous niggas shit. Go ahead and do it. Google me. Turn on your TV.
LinkedIn, all that shit.
Turn on your TV. I see where we going.
Just Satan ain't got an OnlyFans too.
Facts. Listen. That boy on there giving quarter days at OnlyFans. Take it shirtless. Sure is getting hot in the courtroom looking at us. And not only my boy, so I know where they can find you, my brother.
Facts. What it is. Instagram. I ain't like that shit. It's just Instagram for me, for your boy Ayo Clark. Simply put.
Got my guy You Ain't Jamming, bro, in the building. You can find him Instagram, You Ain't Jamming. Be Original on, is it still Be Original on Facebook? No. Oh, they snatched it down. But if you type Be Original, he still pops up though, because he done a bunch of shit out here. So, and also got my brother Chronicle Productions in the building. My guy Chaz in the building. You can find him at Chronicle Productions on Instagram. And then I know you got a personal page, but I don't tell people's personal page because it's personal. So you find that out if you go follow the business page. Maybe my man will find you, and it's worth your time. And then of course it's me. I'm at AllOva overall on Instagram. Kaution 700 on Instagram, and the same thing everywhere you look, man. Shout out. Appreciate y'all stopping in. Y'all have a good one.
Bars.